All right, let's dive into something pretty fascinating. What if I told you that your moods, your health, how you feel day to day isn't just about you? What if it's all connected to the rhythm of the universe itself? Let's get into it.
You know those days, right? You wake up feeling just foggy, or your digestion is all out of whack, or you're just snapping at everyone for no good reason. You try to figure it out. Did I eat something weird? Did I not sleep enough? But nothing adds up. So, what if the answer isn't inside you at all?
What if your body is kind of like a super sensitive weather station, constantly picking up on these invisible energy patterns that are flowing all around us? That's the core idea we're going to explore today. Some people call it cosmic weather.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll talk about that basic connection between us and the cosmos. Then we'll look at the engine, the energy that powers the whole thing. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the yearly and seasonal vibes, and then the best part, how you can actually use this knowledge to feel way more in sync with your world. Okay, so let's start with this foundational idea. Your body isn't some isolated island. No, think of it more like a receiver, a terminal that's constantly getting signals from the universe and responding to them.
The traditional name for this whole system is Wuyun Liu Qi. It's a mouthful, I know, kind of like Wuyun Liu Qi. It comes from this ancient, brilliant Chinese medical text. And the idea is actually pretty simple. Our health, our organs, even our feelings are all totally intertwined with the climate system of the universe. This ancient proverb just nails it. It gets right to the heart of an idea they call Tian Ren He Yi, which basically means the unity of heaven and humanity. It says these cosmic cycles, these 5 movements and 6 energies are always happening. Our bodies are literally designed to respond to them. It's only when we fall out of rhythm with these energy shifts, this qi, that things go wrong and illness can start to creep in.
But, before we can really get the different types of weather, we gotta understand the atmosphere itself. What is this fundamental energy that's swirling around us and through us all the time?
Well, this concept is called Yi Qi Zhou Liu. Sounds like Yi Qi Zhou Liu, and it translates to the circulation of the one qi. Now, this isn't just some energy, it's the energy, the single fundamental source code for absolutely everything. Picture it like a giant, endless river flowing through the entire cosmos, through our planet, and right through every single cell in your body. It's the operating system for life itself.
And what's really fascinating is how this ancient wisdom echoes in more modern spiritual thought. This interpretation from the Seth material says the exact same thing. Illness isn't some random enemy that attacks you. It's just a blockage, a traffic jam, in that natural universal flow of energy.
Okay, so if we've got this one universal energy, how does it actually express itself? Let's zoom out and look at the yearly forecast. You can think of it like the universe picking the theme music for an entire year.
These are called the 5 movements, or Wu Yin. Each year gets its own dominant flavor, one of 5 elemental energies: wood, fire, earth, metal, or water. I love this analogy. It's like we have 5 cosmic DJs, and each year, one of them takes over the turntables, setting the vibe that everything and everyone on Earth is going to be dancing to.
Okay, I know this chart looks a little intense at first glance, but hang with me, the system is surprisingly straightforward. It's all based on something called the celestial stems of the year. So, for example, if a year has the Ja or G stem, boom, it's an Earth year. That means the dominant energy is going to have a bigger effect on the spleen and stomach, maybe leading to more bloating or that heavy feeling. The big takeaway here isn't to memorize the chart. It's just to see that this stuff isn't random. If you know the year's theme, you can actually anticipate which parts of your health might need a little extra support. All right, so we've gone from the big yearly theme music. Now let's get even more specific. If the 5 movements are the album, then the 6 energies, well, they're the individual tracks that change throughout the year.
These are the 6 energies, the Liu Qi. A good way to think of them is like 6 different climatic frequencies that are always broadcasting: wind, cold, summer heat, dampness, dryness, and fire. And here's the absolute key. They don't just change the weather outside your window. They directly influence your own internal climate, both how you feel physically and emotionally.
And the connections here are just so direct, it's wild. Let's just look at dampness for a second. Mentally, that might feel like brain fog. Maybe you're procrastinating a lot. Physically, That exact same energy can show up as bloating or retaining water. Or think about fire energy. Emotionally, it's that impatient, angry, ready-to-argue feeling. Physically, it could manifest as inflammation or insomnia. Do you see how these are linked? Do any of these feel a little too familiar? This quote just puts it all so perfectly. This system isn't some scary, mystical force you can't control. It's a user manual, it's an energy tuning chart for being a human on planet Earth. And if you learn how to read it, you're literally learning the operating system for your own body.
So we've gone through all this theory, but what's the point of it all? Well, the goal isn't just to check the cosmic weather forecast every morning. It's to learn how to dance in the rain and the wind and the heat and the fire.
And this, right here, is the most empowering piece of the whole puzzle. You are not a helpless victim of these energies. Once you understand them, you get to shift from being a passive bystander to an active participant. You can actually learn to harmonize and dance with the universe's rhythm.
And here's a super simple 4-step way to start. It begins with small things, like tuning your diet or even your meditations to whatever energy is strongest. Then, it's about learning to decode your own symptoms, seeing them not as annoying problems, but as messages. And finally, it's about aligning your daily actions with that cosmic flow.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, let's say the energy is damp and you're feeling all heavy and foggy. Maybe that's the perfect day to skip the dairy and sugar. If it's a high fire day and you're feeling irritable, you could consciously choose cooling foods like cucumbers or watermelon. If the year's wood energy is strong and making you tense, a simple meditation focusing on relaxing the liver could be a game changer. It's all about making these tiny, conscious choices to stay in step with the music.
Ultimately, what this all comes down to is empowerment. It's a total shift in how you see yourself and your world. You're not being tossed around by cosmic forces you can't control. No, you are learning the steps. You are the dancer.
So, I'll leave you with this question. As you go about the rest of your day, just pay attention. Notice how you feel. Are you feeling restless, a little foggy, maybe a bit agitated? Instead of just blowing it off, get curious. Ask yourself, what rhythm is the universe playing for me right now, and how am I going to choose to dance with it?